Good afternoon. The press conference for the fourth session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee now begins. On behalf of the Secretariat of this session, I extend our warmest welcome to all Chinese and foreign journalists present here today. Today's spokesperson is Mr. Liu Jieyi, Deputy Secretary General of the fourth session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee. This press conference will be co-moderated by me and Ms. Zhao Haiyan, Director of the Information Bureau of the CPPCC National Committee General Office, who is sitting to my left. With a large media presence today, please maintain silence in the venue to ensure order. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, Mr. Liu Jieyi will outline the arrangements for this session and take your questions on this session and the work of the CPPCC. Now the floor is up. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to cover the fourth session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee. First off, a very happy Lantern Festival. Over 2,500 Chinese and foreign journalists have registered for this session. I thank you for your interest and support. The Secretariat will do what we can to facilitate your coverage. The year 2025 marked the completion year of the 14th Five-Year Plan, and it is an important year for further deepening reform comprehensively, guided by the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. The CPPCC National Committee has had a thorough understanding of the decisive significance of the two establishes and strengthened our commitment to the four consciousnesses, the four-sphere confidence, and to uphold. We fully implemented the guiding principles from the 20th CPC National Congress and all plenary sessions of the 20th CPC Central Committee. We carried out the CPC Central Committee's decisions and plans. We strengthened the common ideological and political foundation for the Chinese people to strive in unity. And we offered suggestions on compiling the 15th Five-Year Plan, further deepening reform comprehensively, and promoting high-quality development, making new contributions to the party and the country's endeavors. 2026 is the launch year of the 15th Five-Year Plan. With a sharp focus on the party's and the country's central tasks, the National Committee will engage in in-depth consultation and democratic oversight on key issues for a strong start to the plan, and rally extensive public support, consensus, wisdom, and strength to advance Chinese modernization. The National Committee has diligently implemented General Secretary Xi Jinping's important directives and the CPC Central Committee's plans and requirements, completing all preparations for this session. The 14th CPPCC National Committee concluded the 15th session of its Standing Committee and approved drafts for the session agenda, schedule, Standing Committee work report, report on proposal submissions, and other documents. We now have everything ready. The fourth session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee will open tomorrow at 3:00 p.m. in the Great Hall of the People and close on the morning of March 11th, lasting 7 days, during which we will review our work since the third session and make arrangements for this year's work. Key agenda items include hearing and deliberating the Standing Committee work report and the report on proposal submissions, attending the fourth session of the 14th National People's Congress to hear and discuss the government work report and other reports, plus the draft outline of the 15th Five-Year Plan for National Economic and Social Development, and approving the political resolution for this session, resolutions on the Standing Committee Work Report and the report on proposal submissions since the third session and the report on proposal reviews for this session. For this session, there will be opening and closing meetings, plus 2 rounds of speeches at important meetings. So multiple sector-specific group meetings will occur at CPPCC members' places of residence, with some sectors also holding consultative meetings. Foreign diplomats in China will be invited to observe the opening and closing meetings. There will be 3 CPPCC member passage interview events. Interview rooms are set up at each place of residence for Chinese and foreign journalists. We will promptly release session arrangements, key documents and relevant materials on the CPPCC Press Center website. Please stay tuned. Now I'm ready to take your questions about this session and the work of the CPPCC. Now the floor is open. Before raising your question, please identify your media affiliation. Please raise your hand as a signal.
好，请中区第一排这位站起来了，这位女记者提问。
好，谢谢主持人。发言人您好，中央广播电视总台记者。我的问题是，习近平总书记要求人民政协聚焦党和国家中心任务，履职尽责。那么，请问，2025年全国政协在坚持中国共产党对人民政协的全面领导，围绕中心大局、履职尽责方面都做了哪些工作呢？谢谢。
With China Media Group, General Secretary Xi Jinping has asked the CPPCC to fulfill its responsibilities with a focus on the central tasks of the party and the country. My question is, what has the CPPCC done in 2025 with regard to upholding the CPC's overall leadership over CPPCC work and fulfilling responsibilities to serve the central task of economic development and overall interests of the country?
Thank you for this question. In 2025, we at the CPPCC have upheld the overall leadership of the CPC, carefully implemented the guiding principles from the 20th CPC National Congress and the plenary sessions of the 20th CPC Central Committee, and implemented General Secretary Xi Jinping's important thinking on enhancing and improving the work of the CPPCC. We have focused on the central tasks and key issues, carried out effective consultations, and contributed good ideas to high-quality development, building extensive consensus and pooling wisdom and strength for Chinese modernization. First, upholding CPC leadership throughout our work and always keeping to the right political direction. Under the top of the agenda system, we promptly communicated and studied the guiding principles from General Secretary Xi Jinping's important speeches and directives and the decisions and arrangements of the CPC Central Committee. We refined the long-term mechanism for implementation in light of the CPPCC's work and saw to it that every one of them is implemented. We strictly followed the system of requesting instructions and submitting reports on major issues to the CPC Central Committee. We continued to equip ourselves with the CPC's new theories. The leading CPPCC members group of the National Committee and Chairperson's Council took the lead in studying theories. We organized book reading sessions, theory study sessions, and political training sessions for CPPCC members on a regular basis. Research have also been carried out on Xi Jinping thought on economy and the people-centered development philosophy, etc., which have helped members to appreciate the advanced nature of the CPC's new theories and maintain political commitment through understanding theories. We carried out study and education to thoroughly implement the Central Party leadership's 8-point decision on improving work conduct and made good progress in streamlining documents and meetings, improving research and practicing economy. We have ensured good performance of duties with good work conduct. Second, focusing consultation on advancing Chinese modernization to inform democratic decision-making. We earnestly implemented the CPPCC's annual consultation plan focused on the strategic and forward-looking issues in Chinese modernization and high-quality development, and carried out consultation and deliberation sessions on formulating the 15th five-year plan, further deepening economic institutional reform, developing new quality productive forces, expanding domestic demand across the board, deep integration of culture and technology, and exploring new ways to improve social governance. Members of the Chairperson's Council led the coordination in leveraging the strength of different sectors and conducted thematic researches on major issues like enhancing the resilience and security of the economy, promoting healthy and orderly development of AI, and advancing green and low-carbon transition, producing many insightful outcomes. We completed the democratic oversight on the implementation of the 14th five-year plan as scheduled and contributed to the delivery of major decisions and arrangements of the CPC Central Committee. Third, conducting routine work with the spirit of reform and innovation and improve the quality of suggestions. Based on the principle of placing the quality of proposals above their quantity, we revised the regulation on proposal-related work and set out the criteria for a good proposal in terms of topic selection, content, and efficacy to improve the overall quality of proposals. We coordinated research and inspection tours, national committee members maintaining close contact with people from the sectors they represent and fulfilling their duties effectively to serve the public. CPPCC members went to the grassroots to see the great achievements, reflect people's livelihood needs, and come up with policy suggestions. The CPPCC served as a direct channel for reflecting social conditions and public sentiment, and submitted nearly 20,000 reports that concern people across the society, helping to inform the democratic decision-making of the party and government. We carried out activities like collecting, researching, and utilizing the record on tracing the origins of Chinese civilization and the first-hand accounts of the Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression to promote the great patriotic spirit and the great spirit of the Chinese people's war of resistance. We also carried out solid work regarding the spokespersons meeting the press and publicity and communication to present from multiple perspectives the work outcomes of the members and build broad consensus for advancing the cause of the party and the country. Fourth, advancing capacity building in duty performance and enhancing the effectiveness of the CPPCC as a specialized consultative body. We enhanced institutional building in the working mechanisms to better leverage the main role of members, the foundational role of special committees, and the unique role of sectors to improve the work of the CPPCC. We revised the regulations on consultation and refined the mechanisms for in-depth consultation and deliberation, full expression of opinions, and building extensive consensus. We further formulated opinions on leveraging the role of sectors to promote the dynamic and orderly work of the sectors. We convened 20 seminars with members from different sectors where we had face-to-face deliberations with over 500 members from 34 sectors. We also enhanced the building of CPPCC into a true home for National Committee members, a place of unity and democracy, and improved the service and management system for members' duty performance. As a result, members are more enthusiastic in performing their duties. Tomorrow afternoon, at the opening of the session, CPPCC National Committee Chairman Wang Huming will deliver the report on the CPPCC National Committee's work over the past year. You're welcome to follow that. Thank you.
请中区第3排这位戴眼镜、灰色西服的女记者提问。
谢谢主持人。人民日报记者提问： 2025年是“十四五”规划收官之年，也是“十五”规划谋篇布局之年。请您介绍一下全国政协在助推高质量完成“十四五”规划目标任务、编制“十五五”规划方面做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With People's Daily, in 2025, China successfully completed the 14th five-year plan and started drafting the 15th five-year plan. Could you share with us the CPPCC's contributions to meeting the goals and tasks set for the 14th five-year plan period and to the drafting of the 15th five-year plan?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for the question.
14.5以来，
Since the launch
在
of
以
the
习近
14th
平
five-year
同志
plan,
为核心的
under the
中
strong
共中央
leadership
坚强
of
领
the
导下，
CPC Central Committee
党
with
和
Comrade
国
Xi
家事
Jinping
业
at its core,
取得新的
China has
重大
made
成
new
就。
major achievements
5
in the
年里，
undertakings of the
全国
party
政协
and the
围
country.
绕
In
14
the last
规划
5
的
years,
实
to
施，
implement
主
the
要
14th
开展了
five-year
以下
plan,
工作：
the CPPCC
一
National
是
Committee carried
扎
out
实
the
开展
following work.
调查研究，
First, solid
围绕
fact-finding
14
and research
规划中
activities,
涉及的
focusing on
构
such
建
major
高水
tasks
平
laid
社
out
会
in the
主义
14th
市
five-year
场经
plan
济体
as
制，
developing a well-functioning
全面推
socialist
进
market
乡
economy,
村振兴，
advancing rural
完善
revitalization,
新型城镇
refining
化
new
战略，
urbanization
优
strategy,
化区域经济布
improving
局，
regional economic
发展
structures,
社会主义先进文化，
advancing
推动
socialist cultural
绿色发展，
development,
实
green
行高水
development,
平对外开
and
放，
further opening
促
up,
进人的全面
promoting
发展，
well-rounded
增进
human
民众福
development,
祉，
improving
统
people's
筹
well-being,
发展与
and
安全
ensuring
等重大
coordination
问
in
题，
pursuing development
开展
and
主席会议
upholding
成员
security.
牵头的
The National
跨专
Committee
委会、
carried
跨界
out
别的深度研究
in
90
depth
多项，
over 90
展
in-depth
视察
research projects
考察
across
调研
different
活动
special committees
400
and
多次，
sectors led by
形成一批
chairpersons, council
高质量
members, and
研究
over
成果，
400 inspections,
为规划
field
实施
visits, and
提
research
供了
tours.
决策
These
参考
efforts
和智力支
produced
持。
many high-quality research
二
outcomes
是
and
开展
provided
高质量
decision-making
协同建
references
言，
and intelligent support
坚
for the
持协
implementation
商
of the plan.
与决策之前
Second,
和
high-quality
决策
consultation
实施
to
之中
offer suggestions.
聚
We
焦
ensure that
14 规
consultation
划
happens
目
before
标任务
decisions
落
are
地，
made and in the
重
course
点
of
领域攻
implementation,
关，
with a focus on
堵点
implementing the
难点
goals and
破
the
解等，
tasks of the 14th
制
five-year
定
plan,
年度协
making
商计划，
breakthroughs in key
并组
areas
织
and
实施，
resolving bottlenecks and
围绕
difficulties.
统筹城
The
乡
National
融合
Committee
发展，
formulated the
加
annual
强生态
consultation
环
plan
境保
and
护，
put it into
优
practice,
化区
revolving
域教
around
育必
integrating
要资
urban
源
and
配
rural
置，
development,
推
protecting
进
the environment,
文化
improving
自信自
regional
强的
allocation of
200多个
education
议
and
题，
medical
召开
resources,
各类
building cultural
协商
confidence
议
and
政活
strength
动
at about
300
200
多次，
topics. Nearly
提出和
300
报送
consultations and
大量
deliberations
相关
of
提案
various
和信
kinds
息，
were
助
conducted,
推决策优化
and over
和决
100
策落实。
proposals made and more than 100
3是
reports submitted to
广
boost
泛凝
decision-making
聚
and
智慧
implementation.
和力量，
Third,
建
wisdom
立
and
健全
strength
党
pooling.
员委员
The
联
mechanism
系
of
党外委
close
员，
contact between the
委员
national
联
committee's
系界
CPC
别群
members
众
and the
制度机
non-CPC
制，
members,
通
and
过
between
宣
national
讲
committee
团、
members and
委
people
员
from
讲
various
堂、
sectors
读
was
书活动
improved.
等，
Through
把
awareness-raising
政
tours,
策
committee member
解释
lectures,
到
and
基
reading
层，
activities, the
筑牢
National Committee
共同思想
brought
政治基
policy
础，
analysis of the
把各
14th
界智
five-year
慧
plan to local
和力量
communities,
凝聚到
consolidated
党
the
和
shared
国家
theoretical and
中心
political
任务上，
foundation, and
推
poured
动
wisdom
形
and
成
strength from
完
various
成
sectors
14
into the
规划
central
目标
tasks
任务
of the
的
party
合
and the
力。
country, and generated
通过报道
combined
委员
momentum
履职故
toward
事，
accomplishing
提案
the
故事，
goals and the tasks of
展
the
现委
14th
员
five-year
助
plan.
力
Through
14
news
发
reports
展
of members
的先
fulfilling
后
their
实践，
duties and putting forward proposals,
助
we
力
saw
科学
living
制定
examples of
15
members
规划
contributing to
是全国
development
政协
during the 14th
2025
five-year
年
plan
工作
period.
的重要任务。
To help formulate
全国
the
政协
15th five-year
围
plan
绕
was an important
15
task
时
of the
期经济社会
CPPCC
发展
National
中的
Committee in
关键性
2025. The
决
National
定性
Committee,
因素，
keeping in
中
mind
国式现
key
代
and
化建
decisive
设中
factors
需
shaping
要
economic
解
and
决的
social
重
development
要
of the
理
15th
论
five-year
和
plan
实践
period,
问题，
major theoretical
新
and
征程上
practical issues
具
to
有
be
趋
addressed
势
in
性、
advancing
规
China's
律性的
modernization,
发展变
changing
化
trends and
和具有
patterns
前
on the
瞻
new
性、
journey,
引
and
领
a
性的
forward-looking and
战略任务，
pioneering strategic
召
missions.
开专题
Has
议
held
政性常委
subject-specific
会会议
deliberative
等协
meetings
商
of the
议政
Standing
活动，
Committee and other
广泛
consultations
征
and
求委
deliberations
员
to
意见建
solicit
议，
opinions from the
开展多
members,
项深度
conduct
conducted multiple in-depth research and research on suggestions, put forward 480 plus proposals. and submitted
开设
over 200
政协调
reports.
研“十五五”规划
A
建言
column
文
on
体，
suggestions for the
向
15th
中共
Five-Year
中
Plan
央、
was
国
launched
务
in
院
the
领导同志
CPPCC
专
Research
报
Journal,
55期，
and 55
为制
reports
定
were presented
十五
to the
规
leadership
划
of the Party
提供
Central
重要
Committee
参
and the
考。
State Council.
谢谢。
These efforts have provided important
现在
references
继
for
续
the
提问。
formulation of the 15th Five-Year Plan. Thank you.
好，请西区第一排过道这位记者啊，请你提问。
谢谢主持人。发言人您好，经济日报记者提问：2025年，中国经济实现了5%的增长，经济社会发展主要目标任务完成。但舆论也关注外部不确定因素和国内供强虚弱等问题给中国经济发展带来的影响。请问您如何看待当前的经济形势和发展前景？全国政协围绕巩固经济稳中向好势头开展了哪些工作？谢谢。
With Economic Daily, in 2025, the Chinese economy recorded a 5% growth, and all the main targets set for economic and social development were met. That said, many are following the possible impact on the economy caused by external uncertainties and a strong domestic supply versus weak domestic demand. My question is, how do you see the Chinese economy and its outlook? What has the CPPCC done to help sustain the sound momentum of economic growth?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
过去一年，
Over the past
外部
year,
环境风
amid
高浪急，
a turbulent
我国
external
经济
environment,
顶压前行，
China's economy
向
has
西
pressed forward
向右发展，
despite pressure
展
and
现
advanced
强
toward
大
greater
韧性
innovation
和
and
活力。
excellence,
经济总
demonstrating
量
strong resilience
迈
and
上
vitality.
140
The total
万亿新
economic
台币
output has crossed
增
the
速
new
在
milestone
全
of
球主要
140
经济
trillion
体
RMB
中
yuan,
继
with
续
growth
保持
continuing to
前
rank
列。
among the top of major
科
global
技与
economies.
产业深
The
度
deep
融合，
integration of science, technology, and
创新成果
industry has driven
竞相
a
涌
surge
现，
of innovation
新质生
outcomes,
产力
with
拔节
new
成长。
quality productive
这
forces
次
growing
史上最
vigorously.
长春节假
This
期，
longest ever
餐饮、
Spring Festival
游乐、
holiday
商场
saw
人
bustling
气旺
crowds
盛。
in dining,
国内
entertainment,
游
and
客
shopping
出游
venues.
总消费
Domestic
超过
tourism consumption
8034
exceeded
亿，
803.4
与去年同
billion
比
yuan,
增
up
加1264
126.4 billion yuan
彰
from the
显
previous year,
超大市场
highlighting the
蓬勃
vibrancy
生
of
活。
China's supersized market.
春运全社
The
会
Spring
跨区域
Festival
人员流动
travel
量
rush
预
is
计
projected to
将
register
达95亿，
9.5 billion
相当于
cross
全球
regional
人
passenger
均出
trips
行
that
一
amounts
次
to
以
more
上，
than one trip
照
per
见
person
流动
worldwide,
中国
illustrating
成败
China's
国力。
great
我国
mobility
经
and
济
surging
从
dynamism.
来都是在
China's
披荆
economy
斩
has
棘
always
中
forged
一路
ahead
前行，
through thorns
在
and
风雨
brambles
洗礼中
and grown
成长壮
stronger
大。
through wind
虽然
and
还面
rain.
临一些
While
问题
there are still some
新
old
挑战，
issues and new
但基
challenges,
础
the
稳，
Chinese economy
优势多，
enjoys solid
韧性
fundamentals,
强，
plentiful
潜能大，
strengths, strong
长期
resilience,
向
and
好
vast
的
potential.
支撑条
The
件
supporting
和基本
conditions and
趋势
overall
没
long-term
有变化。
positive trend remain
只要
unchanged.
我们坚定
As
信
long as
心，
we stay
用好
confident,
优势，
leverage
应
our
对挑战，
strengths,
就
and
一定
address
能
challenges
不断巩
effectively,
固
we will
拓展
be able to
稳中
consolidate
向好
and
的势头，
expand the momentum
推动
of
我国
stable
经
and
济
improving
破浪前
performance
行，
and propel
行
China's
稳致
economy
远。
to break through waves and
2025
realize
年，
steady,
全国政
far-reaching
协
progress.
认真贯彻
In
落实中
2025,
共
the
中
National
央决策
Committee
部署，
implemented the
聚焦
decisions and
经
plans
济
of
社
the
会发展重
CPPCC
大
Central
理论
Committee.
和实践
We
问题，
deepened research
深化
on
研究，
major theoretical
每
and
季度
practical issues in
举办
economic and
宏
social
观经济形
development
势
by holding
分析座
quarterly
谈会，
seminars on
研判
macroeconomic
经济运
landscape
行态
analysis
势，
to
研知
assess economic
苗头
trends,
性、趋势
identify
性问题，
emerging and
为有关
directional
部门
problems, and
把握
provide
形势，
advisory
制定
input
政策，
to relevant
提供
departments
咨
for
询，
better grasping the
围绕提
situation
升
and
宏观经济治
formulating
理效
policies.
能，建设现代化产业体系，建
So
设
this is
强
about
大国内市场等
improving the
重点
effectiveness of
热点问题，
macroeconomic governance and
精
building
心
a
组
modern
织
industrial
视察考
system
察
and developing a
和
strong
专题调
domestic
研，
market.
为推
We
动
organized
高质量发展
inspections and
谋
research
实照、
tours and special
献
research
良策，
projects. We offered
聚
practical
焦
measures and
改
some
革发展
proposals to
新
advance
情况、
high-quality
新问题，
development,
协商
focusing
建
on
言，
new developments and
发挥
issues
各
in
类
reform
协商
and
平台
We leveraged various consultative platforms to conduct in-depth discussions and pour wisdom on advancing the development of a unified national market, promoting high-quality development of the private economy, cultivating and expanding emerging industries, and making forward-looking arrangements for industries of the future. In doing so, we provided references for relevant decision-making, focusing on bolstering confidence in future development and rallying hearts and minds. We encouraged and supported CPPCC members to publish interpretive articles in mainstream media around major meetings and key policy rollouts. We also urged them to engage directly with people in their sectors and with private enterprises to explain policies, address concerns, stabilize expectations, strengthen confidence, and pour strength, so as to translate the CPC Central Committee's plans into concrete actions for high-quality development. Thank you.
现在继续提问，请东区第2排靠过道这位记者提问。对，就是这位。
发言人您好，我是科技日报记者。去年3月，习近平总书记在看望参加全国两会的民盟、民进、教育界委员时，要求政协委员更好支持参与教育、科技、人才体制机制一体改革和发展的实践，为提升国家创新体系整体效能贡献智慧和力量。请问发言人，全国政协在抓好贯彻落实中做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With Science and Technology Daily. During last year's 2 sessions, General Secretary Xi Jinping called on CPPCC members to better support and take part in the integrated reform and development in education, science, technology, and talent, and contribute their wisdom and strength for greater efficacy of the country's innovation system, when he visited members from the China Democratic League, the China Association for Promoting Democracy, and the sector of education. My question is, what has the CPPCC done to deliver on this front?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for this question.
去年3月6日
On March the 6th last year, General Secretary Xi Jinping visited members from the China Democratic League, the China Association for Promoting Democracy, and the education sector participating in the 3rd session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee and attended the joint sessions. He had deep discussions with members on state affairs, and this reflects the great importance that General Secretary Xi Jinping attaches to work on education, science and technology and talent, and his deep care for CPPCC members. It has pointed the way forward and built strength for building a country strong in education, science and technology and talent. It has strongly boosted the morale among CPPCC members. The CPPCC National Committee has earnestly studied and implemented the guiding principles from General Secretary Xi Jinping's important remarks, centering on the key tasks of the integrated institutional reforms of education, science and technology and talent. We have organized research and inspection tours and consultation and deliberation sessions, submitted 103 related proposals, and put forth 65 reports on social conditions and public opinions that have been adopted. Many opinions and suggestions have been tabled, including on forward-looking placement of education resources, speeding up the development of world-class disciplines, boosting sci-tech innovation, improving the mechanisms for nurturing homegrown talents, and promoting integrated development of education, science and technology and talent. All these have helped to inform decision-making. CPPCC members from the education sector and the technology sector have, based on their roles, leveraged their professional expertise, taken on major research tasks of core technologies, explored new ways in integrating industry, research, and education, made pioneering efforts in reforming the models of talent cultivation, and exploring new evaluation mechanisms, built consensus, and unleashed vitality in disseminating science and technology, and nurturing a culture of innovation, contributing their strength to the high-quality development of education, science and technology, and talent. Thank you.
现在继续提问。请中区第3排过道起来的第2位，刚才 那位对记者，那个男记者，
Thank you.
请你提。
My name is Cyril Balde. I'm from Vision Guinea in West Africa. Poverty has long been a scourge of humanity and issue of wide concern in the international community. China eradicated poverty in 2020. My question is, what can the world learn from Chinese experience and practices of poverty reduction? What has the CPCC done to help increase the income of those lifted out of poverty? Thank you.
几内亚观点网记者，贫困是人类社会久攻不下的顽疾，也是国际社会广泛关注的话题。2020年，中国实现贫困人口全部脱贫。请问发言人，中国对全球减贫事业有什么可供借鉴的经验和做法？全国政协在助力中国脱贫人口致富增收方面做了哪些工作？
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for the question.
2020
In
年，
2020,
中国脱
China
贫攻坚
secured
的
a
全面
complete
胜利，
victory in the fight
历
against
史
the
性
poverty,
解决
resolving
困扰
the
中华
millennial-old
民族
problem
几
of
千年的
absolute
绝
poverty
对
in
贫困问题，
China once and for all,
创造出彪炳史
and
册的
creating a
人间奇
miracle
迹。
that will be etched in
国际
history
社会
as a landmark.
予以高度
The
赞誉，
international community
称赞中
speaks
国
highly of
为
this
全球
achievement
减贫
and
做
hails
出
it as the
最大
biggest
贡献，
contribution to
树
global
立
poverty
令人
reduction
鼓舞的
and
榜
an
样。
encouraging example.
5年来，
In 5
中国
years,
脱贫地区
in regions
县
that has
县
been
通
lifted
高
out of
速，
poverty,
村
highways
村
connect
通
every
公路，
county, paved
网络
roads
信号
reach every
全覆
village,
盖，
and the network
山
signals
乡
cover
巨变
every corner.
换了
A
人间，
tremendous transformation has
牢牢
turned
守
these
住
once
不
impoverished
发生
areas
规模性
into
返
a whole
贫致
new
贫
world.
底线，
China has
乡村
forestalled
全面
any
振兴，
large-scale
取得
backsliding
明显
into
进展。
poverty and made notable
中国
progress
脱贫
in
攻坚
all-round
成果
rural
经受住
revitalization.
了实践
China's
和
poverty
历史的
alleviation
检验，
achievements have
向世界
withstood the
有
test
力
of
证明
reality and history
贫困
and
并
sent
非
a strong
不可战
message
胜
to。the world that
中
poverty
国
is
脱
not
贫攻坚
invincible.
取得举
These
世瞩目
remarkable
的成就，
achievements
靠的是
would not have
中
been
国共
possible
产党的
without
坚
the
强领
strong
导，
leadership of
靠
the
的是
CPC,
中华民族
the
自
Chinese
力更生、
people's
艰苦奋
self-reliance
斗的精
and
神品
hard
质，
work.
靠的是新中国成
The
立以
solid
来，特
material
别是改革
foundations
开放以
laid
来
down
积
since
累
the
的
founding of the
坚实物
PRC,
质基础，
and particularly
靠
since
的
the launch
是
of
一
reform
任
and
接着
opening up.
一任干的
The
坚守
perseverance
执
and the
着，
persistence
靠
of
的
one government
是
official
全党
after
全国
another,
各族人民
and
的
the
团
concerted
结奋
efforts
斗，
of the whole party
走出了
and
一
the
条
entire
中
nation.
国特色
China
减贫
pioneered
道
a
路。
uniquely Chinese path
中
to
国
poverty
是国际
alleviation.
减贫事业的坚
China
定倡导
firmly
者、
advocates,
推动者
promotes,
和贡献者，
contributes to,
积极参与
and
国际
participates
减贫
in
合
global
作，
poverty reduction
履行
cause,
国际减
and
贫
fulfills
责任，
its
为发展
responsibility
中国
in
家
global poverty
提供
reduction,
力所能及
and
的
provides
帮助。
help to fellow
例
developing
如，
countries to
与
the best
150
of
多
its
个国家、
capability.
数
For
十个
example,
国际
China
组
has
织
signed Belt and
签
Road
署
Cooperation
共建
documents
一带一路
with
合
more
作
than
文件，
150
一
countries
大
and
批
dozens
标
of
志性
international
项目
organizations.
落地
A large
生
number
根，
of signature
不
projects
仅
have
促
been
进当
successfully
地经济
implemented,
发展，
a boost
还
to
创
local
造了
economy
大量就业
and
机会。
employment.
在亚非欧地区国家
Over
设立30多个
30
鲁
Luban
班工坊。
workshops have been set
这
up
位
in
记者朋
countries
友
of Asia,
所在
Africa,
的
and
非洲地
Europe.
区就
In
有
Africa,
17 个，
where this journalist is
为
from,
当
they
地
are
培养
17.
了经济社
These
会发展
workshops
所
have
需的
trained
技术
technical
技能
talents
人才，
needed in local social and
在
economic
100多个国
development.
家推广菌草技术，
Junzao technology for
帮助
mushroom farming
贫困民
has been
众
promoted
脱
in
贫
over
致富。
100 countries to
邀
help
请
the
一些
poor
发展中
shake
国
off
家相关
poverty.
人员
We have
来
invited
中国
relevant
体
personnel
验
from
新
developing
农村建设
countries to
交
China
流
to see its
乡村
efforts
治
of
理
building a new
产业发
countryside,
展等领
to
域
discuss
成
successful
功经验
experience and
与
effective
有效做
practices
法，
on
为
countryside
他们
governance and
探
industrial
索符
development,
合本国
providing
国
useful
情的
references
减
to
贫之
their
路，提
exploration
供
of a poverty
有益
reduction
参考。
path suited to national
全国
realities.
政协
The National Committee has kept close to the decisions made by the CPC Central Committee of continuing consolidating the poverty alleviation outcomes, centered around topics like establishing regular mechanisms for preventing rural residents from lapsing or relapsing into poverty, creating jobs and increasing incomes for those lifted out of poverty, improving long-term mechanisms for sustainable development in the countryside. The National Committee has carried out subject-specific research and come up with practical suggestions like better dynamic monitoring to prevent relapse into poverty, more effective assistance for industries and employment, multi-tiered categorized assistance for underdeveloped areas. These suggestions have helped release the internal impetus for rural revitalization, develop a modern industrial system in the countryside, and build a beautiful and harmonious countryside for people to live and work in. The CPPCC members have played to their strength and dedicated themselves to consolidating and expanding poverty alleviation outcomes and promoting all-round rural revitalization. Research has been conducted into General Secretary Xi Jinping's important statements about poverty alleviation to help build an academic and discourse system of Chinese anti-poverty theories. Intense efforts have been made on the front lines of work related to agriculture, rural areas, and rural residents to share expertise, mobilize resources, solve problems, and contribute ideas to rural development. The CPPCC foreign exchange activities have been held to communicate Chinese stories and experience of poverty alleviation to the world. Poverty reduction is a centuries-old challenge shared by all nations. China is ready to join hands with countries across the world to build a community with a shared future for humanity, where poverty is left behind and development shared by all, and keep contributing to global poverty reduction cause. Thank you.
现在继续提问。好，请第一排这位记者提问。
谢谢主持人。发言人您好，新华社记者提问。据了解，近年来呢，全国政协围绕持续优化营商环境、加强黑土地保护、加快推进社会适老化改造等重点任务，连续5年开展专项民主监督。请介绍全国政协在推动民主监督精准发力方面的做法。谢谢。
With Xinhua News Agency, for 5 years running, the CPPCC has conducted special democratic oversight on key tasks such as improving the business environment, black soil protection, and the building of a more elderly-friendly society. Could you share with us the measures that have been taken for exercising targeted democratic oversight?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question. Democratic oversight is a key part of the CPPCC's job. It is an important component of the socialist oversight system and a crucial way for realizing socialist consultative democracy. CPPCC democratic oversight is consultative in nature, focusing on major national priorities and public concerns. It is about working collaboratively with relevant functional departments toward common goals and jointly addressing issues. We do this to contribute to the effective implementation of the decisions and plans of the CPC Central Committee. Conducting special oversight on the implementation of the 5-year plans is one of the key forms of democratic oversight by the National Committee. Over the past 5 years, the 10 special committees each selected important issues in the implementation of the 14th 5-year plan and carried out consistent 5-year-long special democratic oversight that spanned 2 terms of the committee. A total of 779 National Committee members participated in these 10 special oversight programs, putting forward 323 oversight opinions that helped advance the implementation of the 14th 5-year plan. First, focusing on key content and links for the sound and effective implementation of CPC Central Committee decisions and plans. We conducted in-depth democratic oversight on topics such as improving the business environment, advancing rural development, strengthening black soil protection, promoting the integration of sports and education, and building urban-rural public cultural service systems. Oversized opinions were submitted to relevant departments through reports, proposals, and information on social conditions and public sentiment. Leading officials from relevant departments were invited to various consultative meetings. We followed up on the handling of oversight opinions and provided timely feedback to CPPCC members in this way. We formed a closed-loop process featuring research, opinions, handling, and feedback, helping ensure CPC Central Committee decisions take effect and deliver. Second, improving institutions and mechanisms to make democratic oversight more institutional, standardized, and procedure-based. We formulated guidelines on strengthening and improving democratic oversight, effectively executed the annual democratic oversight plan approved by the CPC Central Committee, and kept leveraging mechanisms such as regular progress reports to the Chairperson's Council and annual reporting to the CPC Central Committee, ensuring oversight is conducted vigorously, orderly, and effectively. Third, actively exploring new approach to improve the quality and effectiveness of CPPCC democratic oversight. We recommended 217 National Committee members to serve as special supervisors for departments including the National Commission of Supervision, Supreme People's Court, and Ministry of Public Security. We developed measures to ensure sound coordination with specialized supervision conducted by disciplinary inspection and supervision authorities, and explored establishing mechanisms for democratic oversight information sharing. We conducted joint democratic oversight with central committees of other political parties to combine efforts to produce high-quality outcomes. Going forward, the National Committee will continue effective practices from the 14th Five-Year Plan period and carry out in-depth consultative oversight by focusing on major topics in implementing the 15th Five-Year Plan, so as to contribute wisdom and strength to ensure the CPC Central Committee decisions take root and deliver results.
现在继续提问。好，请西区第4排靠过道这位男记者提问。
谢谢主持人。光明日报记者提问：提案工作是人民政协履行职能的重要方式，请问全国政协在提升提案质量、增强办理时效、强化督办监督和协商方面有哪些有益的探索和创新？谢谢。
With Guangming Daily, proposal submission is an important channel for the CPPCC to discharge its duties. Could you share with us the new explorations and approaches that the CPPCC has adopted to come up with more constructive proposals, to handle proposals more effectively, and to have better implementation and consultation?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for this question.
提案工作
Indeed, proposal-related work is an overarching work of the CPPCC. Making proposals is an important way for the CPPCC to perform its duties and a good example of China's whole process people's democracy. In 2025, the CPPCC National Committee did some useful exploration and innovation in improving proposal-related work, and achieved notable results in terms of proposal making, handling, and oversight. In terms of submitting good proposals, we have enhanced our political awareness, strengthened theoretical understanding, improved arrangements to better inform members, and used various means to help proposal makers learn about the dynamics in a timely and accurate manner, grasp the laws of development, and come up with pertinent and relevant proposals on state affairs and people's concerns. For instance, in comprehensively deepening reform, proposals were submitted on promoting the institutional opening up of standards and integrated reform of digital and intelligent technology and talents. In fostering new quality productive forces, proposals were made on advancing business-led deep integration of industry, universities, and research institutes, on building regional sci-tech innovation centers, and on researching and developing vertical industry-specific large models. On the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance and the World Anti-Fascist War, proposals were made on better protecting and utilizing the revolutionary heritage of the Northeast United Resistance Army and on promoting the correct view of World War II history. These proposals accurately reflected the situation and contained in-depth analyses and concrete suggestions. They are selected as the annual good proposals of the CPPCC in 2025. In terms of handling the proposals well, the departments responsible attach high importance to proposal handling, actively consulted and discussed with CPPCC members, worked to convert the proposal suggestions into practical measures to make decision-making more sound and democratic. Well, let me give you an example. In response to the issue of teenagers' eyesight and overall fitness, which is of great concern to the public, a proposal was made on improving the fitness and health of teenagers. It is transferred to responsible agencies after due process and designated as a key proposal. After receiving this proposal, the handling department had many rounds of consultation with the members making the proposal and took in the suggestions in the proposal as they formulate the 20 measures to enhance the fitness and health of students. This proposal has played an important role in promoting the integration and coordinated development of moral, intellectual, physical, aesthetic, and labor education, and we have many more examples like this. In terms of enhancing oversight, we have a mechanism whereby the Chairperson's Council reviews and determines the key proposals. Members of the Chairperson's Council lead in overseeing the key proposals, and the Chairperson's Council hears the report on the oversight of the implementation of the key proposals. The oversight on the implementation of proposals was integrated with the consultation and deliberation sessions through research and inspection tours, proposal handling consultations, and visiting handling departments. Over 300 proposals with key topics and 700 other proposals were handled under oversight, which increased the quality and efficiency of proposal handling. Thank you.
继续提问，请东区第3排这位外国记者提问。
谢谢主持人，发言人你好，我是中澳卫视记者比诺。去年底，海南自由贸易港全岛广泛，引发全世界广泛关注。请问，这将为全球贸易和投资自由便利化提供哪些新的机遇？全国政协为中国扩大高水平对外开放做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With China Arab TV. At the end of last year, the Hainan Free Trade Port started its island-wide special customs operation, which has drawn wide attention. My question is, what new opportunities will this provide for global trade and trade liberalization and facilitation? What has the CPPCC done to contribute to China's high standard opening up?
Thank you for your question. The launch of the island-wide special customs operation in Hainan Free Trade Port is a landmark step China has taken as part of its unwavering commitment to expanding high-standard opening up and building an open world economy. The Hainan FTP, following the special customs operation, has seen a notable increase in trade liberalization and facilitation and has become more connected internationally. During the Spring Festival, its off-island duty-free spending increased by 30.8% compared with the same period last year, and the number of visa-free foreign tourists grew by 75.6%. The results are clear. Goods flow freely and people travel easily. The launch of the special customs operation is a new exploration in steadily expanding institutional opening up with regard to rules, regulations, management, and standards, and shows China's firm resolve in carrying reform and opening up to the end. China always pursues the basic state policy of opening up. Its door to the world will not close. It will only open wider and wider. The CPPCC National Committee has long followed and contributed to China's opening up. Over the past year, it has played an active role in deliberations to offer suggestions on expanding high-standard opening up and poured the strength and will of the people on topics like developing new institutions for a higher standard open economy, improving the outbound investment management service system, developing the new international land-sea trade corridor. The National Committee conducted field visits and research tours with high-quality research reports, which provided decision-making references for upgrading foreign trade and keeping domestic and international circulations smooth. It invited delegations from foreign think tanks and institutes to China to help them better understand Chinese modernization and see the vast space of cooperation with China. The CPPCC members, during foreign exchange activities, shared stories of China and other countries pursuing win-win cooperation and helping each other succeed. Their efforts have helped China expand its global network of friends, featuring openness, cooperation, and mutual benefit. China will firmly expand high-standard opening up, promote trade and investment liberalization and facilitation, inject more positive energy and certainty into global development, share development opportunities, and jointly create a better future. Thank you.
现在继续提问。好，请中区第4排西起第3位穿白衣服的女记者提问。
感谢主持人，发言人您好，中国青年报提问。去年，西藏自治区、新疆维吾尔自治区分别迎来了成立60周年和70周年大庆。我们注意到，全国政协开展了委员促三交等系列活动，联合各民主党派和工商联开展了调研，面向民族地区的基层群众开展了系列活动。请发言人介绍全国政协在服务推进中华民族共同体建设方面都有什么举措，做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With China Youth Daily, last year, Xizang Autonomous Region and Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region celebrated the 60th and 70th anniversary of its founding, respectively. Under the theme of CPPCC members promoting interactions, exchanges, and integration among ethnic groups, the CPPCC National Committee carried out research and inspection tours with non-CPC political parties and the All China Federations of Industry and Commerce, as well as activities for areas with large ethnic minority populations. Could you share with us what has the CPPCC done to help forge a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question. Last year, General Secretary Xi Jinping personally led the central delegation to attend the celebrations marking the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Xizang Autonomous Region and the 70th anniversary of the founding of the Xizang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The first time in the history of the party and the country that a General Secretary has done so for these events. General Secretary Xi Jinping attaches great importance to work in Xinjiang and Xizang. He shows deep care for people of all ethnic groups there and inspires and encourages them to work closely as one for shared prosperity and development so as to advance community building of the Chinese nation and jointly write a new chapter in Chinese modernization. Over the past year, the National Committee has thoroughly implemented General Secretary Xi Jinping's important thinking on strengthening and improving ethnic work. We stayed focused on ethnic affairs and fulfilled our responsibilities by offering suggestions for community building of the Chinese nation. We conducted research on key issues in community building and put forward proposals such as strengthening theoretical research on the history of the Chinese nation and community building efforts, as well as improving relevant institutions and mechanisms and the system of laws and regulations. Relevant departments have responded that these suggestions will be fully incorporated into the formulation of special plans for the 15th Five-Year Plan. We published articles including improving institutions and mechanisms for forging a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation and forging a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation to open a new frontier in adapting Marxist ethnic theory to the Chinese context and the needs of the times, helping to provide academic and systematic elaboration and development of the party's ethnic theory in the new era. We carried out research on multiple issues worthy of attention for socio-economic development in ethnic minority areas during the 15th Five-Year Plan period, and offered proposals on developing industries with distinctive advantages and coordinating economic growth with environmental protection, so as to help ethnic minority regions better integrate into the new development paradigm. We held in-depth consultations and deliberations on topics such as harnessing the power of cultural and museum undertakings to forge a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation. The General Office of the National Committee participated in hosting the exhibition of outstanding artworks from Xinjiang and Xizang, using fine artworks to celebrate the impressive achievements of the party's ethnic work and showcase the grand momentum of all ethnic groups working hard as one. All 56 ethnic groups in China are represented by National Committee members. We have fully leveraged this advantage by actively carrying out activities under the theme of CPPCC members, promoting interactions, exchanges, and integration among ethnic groups. These activities combined inspections, field visits, and research tools with face-to-face discussions with community-level officials and ordinary people. Through them, we explained the party's ethnic policies, made tangible and effective work to heighten the sense of national identity, and deepened the shared understanding that all ethnic groups are bound by blood ties, share common beliefs, and culturally interconnected, economically interdependent, and emotionally close. In 2026, the National Committee will continue in-depth research on major strategic issues in the ethnic affairs domain, strengthen ideological and political guidance, and actively red hearts and minds to forge a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation and advance community building of the Chinese nation. Thank you.
现在继续提问。请中区第4排东起第4位记者提问。
谢谢主持人，发言人您好，发言人您好，人民政协报全媒体记者提问。坚持人民政协为人民是新时代人民政协工作的根本价值取向。全国政协2025年持续推进委员履职、服务为民活动，各专委会都有品牌服务，如送科技下基层、卫生下3乡等。请发言人介绍委员履职、服务为民的做法和故事。谢谢。
With CPPCC Daily, to ensure that the CPPCC serves the people is the fundamental principle guiding the CPPCC's work in the new era. In 2025, CPPCC members continued to host activities under the theme of better services for the people, with the participation of all special committees, including outreach programs on science, technology, and health for local communities. Could you share with us more work that has been done to deliver better services for the people?
Thank you for the question. The activity of delivering better services for the people is a new measure taken by the 14th CPPCC National Committee to apply the people-centered development philosophy and to ensure that the CPPCC truly serves the people. Since its launch in 2023, more than 15,000 activities have been carried out, including over 6,000 from last year. The CPPCC members leveraged their strength and reached out to the grassroots and people from different sectors, actively communicated the policy measures of the party and government, built consensus from the sectors, and worked to address people's concerns. These efforts have contributed to the prosperity of the country and of ordinary people. In 2025, we improved the institution and mechanism, refined the implementation plan, and stepped up services to further advance the better services for the people activities. With outreach programs on science, technology, and health and culture for local communities, the CPPCC members visited the farmlands, pastoral areas, minefields, and factory floors to provide training on agricultural technology, disseminate knowledge on desertification prevention and control, and help foreign businesses solve problems. They visited villages and communities and plateau and border areas to help train primary level medical staff, give lectures on the prevention and treatment of chronic diseases, and do screening for congenital heart disease in children. They also played an active role to help the disabled and contribute to post-disaster reconstruction, visiting the disabled and disaster-stricken locals to help solve real problems. The delivering better services for the people activities have truly helped to increase people's well-being. Among the reports submitted by CPPCC members last year, more than 3,000 are about employment, social security, healthcare, birth and childcare, education, and elderly care. They have been instrumental in addressing the issues that are high on people's minds. Delivering better services for the people is an ongoing process that will never end. The CPPCC members will continue to reach out to the people, to listen to people's concerns, solve problems, and build consensus in an effort to deliver even better services to the people. Thank you.
现在继续提问。好，请西区第4排东起第3位，穿粉色衣服这位女记者提问。
好的，谢谢主持人。香港大公文汇传媒集团记者提问：继港车北上、澳车北上之后呢，2025年粤车南下政策落地实施，为粤港澳大湾区融合发展再添新动能。那么想请问发言人，全国政协在助力粤港澳大湾区融合发展、港澳融入国家发展大局方面有没有什么新的履职？有没有一些特色履职？开展了哪些新的活动？谢谢。
With 大公文汇, following the northbound travel for Hong Kong and Macau vehicles, in 2025, southbound travel for Guangdong vehicles has also been launched, adding new momentum to the integrated development of the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area. My question is, what are the activities that the CPPCC has carried out to contribute to the development of the Greater Bay Area and to support Hong Kong and Macau in better integrating into the overall development of the country?
Thank you for your question.
2025年
Last year,
粤港澳3地
Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau worked together and achieved remarkable progress in integrated development. For the first time, they co-hosted the 15th National Games, took a coordinated approach to common affairs, policies, and regulation across 3 places, and staged a sporting event that highlighted institutional strength, poured the strength of unity, and showcased the unique character of the Greater Bay Area, called GBA. With the southbound travel for Guangdong vehicles in place, the GBA is embracing a new era of two-way direct cross-boundary transportation. The Guangzhou-Shenzhen-Hong Kong and the Guangzhou-Zhuhai-Macau innovation corridors work together to become the most active factors for innovation in the area. The Shenzhen-Hong Kong-Guangzhou cluster topped the Global Innovation Index. The Macau-Zhuhai cluster made the world's top 100 for 2 years running. The elderly healthcare voucher GBA pilot scheme covers all 9 mainland cities in the GBA. The number of designated medical institutions in the Hong Kong and Macau Medicine and Equipment Connect continues to increase to better guarantee Hong Kong and Macau residents living and working on the mainland. In today's GBA, roads link the three places, cities blend into one another, and the hearts beat as one. A world-class Bay Area and globally significant city clusters are emerging rapidly. Last year, the CPPCC National Committee, with a focus on promoting long-term stability and prosperity in Hong Kong and Macau, and their integration into the overall national development, actively offered suggestions for governance, centered around topics like strengthening alignment of rules and mechanisms of the GBA, implementing the outline development plan, developing international tech innovation centers, advancing the integrated development between Hengqin and Macau, and building major cooperation platforms of Hengqin, Qianhai, Nansha, and Hetao. The National Committee has carried out survey and research, subject-specific consultations, and democratic oversight to help boost high-level connectivity across the three places, and efficient and easy flow of production factors of all kinds. It also went to campuses to organize report sessions on national conditions, rolled out a special program of learning and practice in Shanghai for young talents from Macau, and actively built platforms of exchange between youth from Hong Kong, Macau, and the mainland. Members from Hong Kong and Macau have played a dual positive role and taken an active part in the GBA's development, supported the SAR governments in delivering their work, and helped strengthen cooperation between Hong Kong, Macau, and the mainland on economy and trade, science and technology, and cultural and people-to-people exchange. This year, the CPPCC National Committee will play an active role in deliberations to offer suggestions on stepping up cooperation between Hong Kong, Macau, and the mainland, supporting Hong Kong and Macau in building pace-setters that bring international high-caliber talents together, and will contribute more to helping Hong Kong and Macau better integrate into and serve the overall national development. Thank you.
由于时间关系啊，我们请发言人回答最后一个问题，请大家提问。好，请中区第二排中间这位穿黑色上衣的女记者提问。
谢谢主持人。发言人您好，我是中国日报记者。过去1年，面对错综复杂的国际形势，中国特色大国外交取得了许多新成就。全国政协对外交网作为国家总体外交的重要组成部分，在服务国家外交大局方面做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With China Daily, over the past year, amid a complex international environment, many new accomplishments have been made in China's major country diplomacy with Chinese characteristics. The CPPCC carries out an important part of China's external work. My question is, what has it done over the past year to contribute to China's diplomacy?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question. In today's world, transformations unseen in a century are accelerating. The international landscape is marked by changes and turbulence, and global challenges are becoming more pressing. Against this backdrop, China has committed itself to building a community with a shared future for humanity, implementing the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, the Global Civilization Initiative, and the Global Governance Initiative, advocating high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, and an equal and orderly multipolar world and universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization, and building an open, inclusive, clean and beautiful world of lasting peace, universal security, and shared prosperity. China is committed to promoting high-quality development and expanding high-standard opening up, benefiting the world while developing itself. And it is the most stable, reliable, and positive force in the turbulent world. To conduct extensive foreign exchange activities is an important mission of the CPPCC National Committee. Over the past year, guided by Xi Jinping thought on diplomacy, the National Committee has taken a coordinated approach to public diplomacy, people-to-people diplomacy, and think tank diplomacy, and made positive contribution to serving the overall national diplomatic agenda. Members of the Chairperson's Council led delegations to dozens of countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America and the Caribbean. The National Committee also received dozens of delegations of foreign friends visiting China, held the 2025 China Economic and Social Forum, the 20th Sino-EU Roundtable, and invited more than 100 foreign friends to join the Experience the CPPCC events to deepen dialogue and exchange among friends from various sectors and renowned think tank experts. We have had in-depth discussions with friends from other countries on the evolving international situation, win-win cooperation, mutual learning among civilizations, consensus building, and other important issues, and a shared experience on the formulation of 5-year plans for economic and social development, environmental protection, poverty reduction, and women's development. Through exchanges and interactions, we all have given a deeper thought into humanity's future and shared the view that solutions to today's challenges require vision and responsibility. And the important visions and proposals put forth by China have provided guidance and a strong momentum for countries joining hands to build a better world. The CPPCC National Committee will continue strengthening communication with friends from other countries, unleash the power of ideas, build consensus for cooperation, and help build a community with a shared future for humanity. Thank you.
谢谢发言人刘杰一先生。
Mr. Liu Jieyi.
谢谢各位记者。
And thank you all the journalists here today. This is the end of today's press conference.
各位记者朋友，再见。
And see you next time.